Hi Julie, a big thank you for joining us for an evening with Dr. Julie Mills, OBE, Group Principal and Chief Executive at Milton Keynes College. How are you, Julie?
Yeah, good, thanks Dan. Thanks for inviting me. It's been quite good fun thinking of who I would invite to a dinner party. Lots of people made the list, but of course only 3 for the final selection.
So if you would be able to let us know, once we get through this coronavirus that we're going through at the moment, you have a table of 4 at a restaurant of your choice. Which 3 guests, past or present, would you take with you and why?
It was a really hard thing to think about because there are so many people that I would love to meet or have met in the past, you know, that I would want to spend an evening with. But I did narrow it down to 3. And the first person that I would want to take with me is Jenny Lee, who was one of the very first female MPs. She became an MP back in 1929, but we know her because she was the driving force behind the Open University. And so she was part of Harold Wilson's government in the 60s, and it was absolutely her tenacity and willpower that kind of pushed that Open University bill through. So without her, we would not have had the Open University. And it seems odd to us now that that would be in any way controversial, but she faced a lot of resistance. People didn't think that university education should be for everyone. They thought it should be for the, you know, the best and the elite. But she was absolutely about everyone having the opportunity to increase their skills and everyone have the opportunity to learn and to appreciate the arts and history. And it was really, I think, her force of personality and her tenacity that absolutely got the Open University through. And as an Open University graduate myself, as well as a citizen of Milton Keynes, I think it's an amazing thing and the world is a better place for it. And we wouldn't have it without Jenny. So I'd want to meet her and find out what all of that was like. Brilliant.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Excellent. Number 2.
Number 2, if me and Jenny would stop talking long enough, then I would also really like to have Joan Armatrading at our dinner table. She's one of my all-time favourites. I love her music. She's also a supporter of the Helena Kennedy Foundation, which I currently have the great privilege to chair, and that's about supporting disadvantaged students from FE colleges into universities. And Joan actually came and took part in our 10th anniversary celebrations 10 years ago, which I thought was amazing. And I've kind of grown up with her music. In fact, in the early 90s, I even saw her at the Pits, which was, I don't know if you remember it, Dan, it was the nightclub.
Yeah, I do remember.
The leisure centre. So they used to have some amazing acts on. Saw Kirsty McCall and all sorts of other people there. So yeah, Joan's music has always had a really special place in my heart anyway. And then the fact that I saw her at the Pits brings her to life for me in terms of Milton Keynes. And she's been to the stables, so, you know, nice local presence. And her support for the Helena Kennedy Foundation, I think that would be great. And I think she's a very private person as well. So she keeps her private self out of the media. So it would be a real privilege to be able to spend time with her.
Excellent. And the 3rd and final person?
Well, where Joan is a private person, my 3rd person is not private at all, and it would be Grayson Perry, the artist. I think he's our greatest living artist. I love all of his work. First came across it back in the early 90s, where I saw some ceramics that he'd done, and I just was blown away by it. And since then, and since his Turner Prize win, I've really followed his career and have been to many exhibitions. I love his ceramics, and I really like the fact that he challenges the status quo, that he's quite rebellious. And so some of the TV work that he's done, he just takes big issues and challenges them head on. So he did a TV show about Divided Britain, which was about kind of the Leave and the Remain. He's done stuff about what it means to be a man. And of course, he designed and built a whole house in Essex, which he called Julie's house. So that's obviously another reason why I really like him. But I did have the opportunity to meet him once, and it was a bit of an embarrassing story. I was at a gala dinner, and I was chatting. They'd got an event photographer, and I was chatting to the photographer when I arrived. And he said, "Oh, there's going to be some celebrities here and some famous people." And I was telling him, and he mentioned that Grace and Perry was going to be coming, and I was telling the photographer that I really rated Grace and Perry. It would be a great thing to meet him. And I did actually see Grace on the other side of the room, so I kind of thought, I just took my brave pills, headed off over there. I thought, I'm just going to ask for a selfie. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I just barged into his conversation, asked for a selfie, which he agreed to do. And of course, I put my phone up, and I just couldn't make the selfie thing work. So I did it once, and it was ha ha ha, isn't that funny? Where's a teenager when you need one? Did it again, it didn't work. Did it a third time, I thought he was starting to get irritated now. So I just kind of walked to it, I said, thank you so much, really appreciate it, and left. And thinking, oh, I've got these blurry, dark images on my phone, which only I would know was Grace and Perry. And then towards the end of the evening, the photographer that I'd been talking to earlier on in the evening, he came up to me and he presented me with this, which I don't know if you can see
wow.
that. So he had seen me trying to take this selfie, and he'd actually taken a picture of me doing it, and
Brilliant.
then he came and gave me that at the end. So I've now got this, my treasured possession of me with Grayson in his alter image as Claire. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. And I'd love to meet him properly and spend some time there.
So I think your dinner party might go on a little while then.
I don't know if they'd all get on with each other or not. Some strong characters there, I think.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Julie. We really appreciate it, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
Brilliant, thank you. And you stay safe as well, Dan, and thanks for keeping us business community going through all of this.
No worries at all. Thanks very much.
Okay, bye.